Hello and welcome back to the Mindtrack.net game server. This will be update 13 for the pre-build on the Enterprise E. I spent most of the work time today working on corridor pathing and setting up some other additional Jeffries tubing. This is like a force field thing here, so there will be like a force field generator under here. This is the center point of the ship. I would love to be able to, we could easily move this over and let me show you here what I mean, so that I can access that Jeffries tube. Derp, just like that. Now I have a Jeffries tube access right here to this deck. Very cool. Very, very cool. This would come up like so, and this would be up here like that. Anyways, underneath here would be like a force field generator. So the force field and stuff would go under here. Yeah, whatever. Set all that up. I also placed quite a few transporter rooms. I set these in here. These are basically come through and you step up and then you're into like a little Jeffries tube. And we can set this one up to be very similar to that of the Voyager. And I also set some more in here, but further back. I set two over here, along with their accompanying power systems. These ones are a little different. They're a little bit more room. They're shared center beam, kind of like what you see at the bottom of like the Voyager, and even on the Sovereign here, I think has a shared. But there'll be four total, so two here, then two on the other side. And the reason I put these here is it worked well with this Jeffries system that's here. And as I said, I spent a lot of time routing the Jeffries tubes, making sure that they sort of all interconnect. Somebody disconnected from my RC. And I've been trying my darndest to make sure that everything is lined up the way I need it to be lined up. Again, there'll be two rails. There'll be this rail going in and out, and then there'll be another rail on this side going in and out. So you'll be able to have like high-speed Jeffries or high-speed turbolifts through this section of the ship. There's also an express one. Let's see if I can find it. The best way to find it is to go down here and look for it down here. Turbolift. And there it is, all the way over here. And what it is, it has, and I fall out of the ship, keep it up. It just has basic, just a straight shot up to the uppermost lift area here, and then like a little area there, but then shoots over. So this one here, because I didn't have any corridor connections in this area, so I decided just to make an express lift and keep it at that. I also reworked the Jeffries tubes through here. I figure since this is all going to be machinery, it doesn't matter if they can see this wall or not. Yeah, well, So it's all too wide through here. I've tried to make the Jeffries tubes too wide whenever possible. There's some areas that they're only going to be one wide. Of course, this is hull, so we have to switch to the carpet here. I also made the connections for the Jeffries tubes all the way through the engineering section. As you can see here, well, not now, but here we are, engineering. And it comes up, and actually on this deck it'll stop here, then it'll go over, then go up 2 more decks. So all this stuff is now interconnected. I also moved the Jeffries tube, set it up here, and then at this point it comes down and then around to here, and then down again, a couple of decks. I can't go any lower than that because it hits the hull. But at this point, I haven't done anything as far as this section of the ship other than I routed this turbolift and kind of put a corridor here and kind of outlined the edge a little bit for another corridor over there. I stopped at that point because this is going to be the big arboretum. And I went up and I dead dropped all that stuff using sand down here. And what I did, I haven't done this part of it, but I moved this part over to be even with the hull and tried to clean it up as well as I could. And then I figured, well, you know what, M. Heller is a lot more detailed when it comes to this than I am. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for him to sort that stuff out. So he'll probably remove all the sand and then re-dead drop it and see what he can come up with as far as that definitely needs to be placed into the hull next if we're going to be moving into this section, setting up deck plans.
That's kind of odd.
Get rid of those. they're not needed. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they can be seen or not. There'll be some dead spots, but that's okay. I haven't done anything with this area up here. Left it all the way it is. And I figured, you know, at this point, it's set up the way we need to go. Still kind of wondering what this would be. I have been kind of, so I left it hollow in case it's some sort of a ship system or something, or even an escape pod that we didn't realize goes there. But I think at one point, I think it was probably part of the torpedo system. I don't know. The ship is a little odd, to say the least. The nice thing about routing the turbo lifts and stuff is it gives me a pretty good idea of how things are coming together and aligning up. And most of the stuff is pretty much building itself at this point. I mean, it's just it's working really well, especially this crossover system here, because it goes up to here now since we just made that connection. And it's coming down really nice. You can get all the into the hull here, and then you come over here and you get this another one going forward apart from the one down there, and then it goes sideways all the way, and it just really lent itself well to the organization of this. And all this stuff does connect. So I've been slowly but surely expanding it and making sure of that while I've been working on the sections of the ship through here. In fact, I was working on this when Linux Guru was on, and I was going to get off, but then I started to kind of get onto a tangent, and well, it's 3 hours later now. But yeah, I went ahead and did all this. Also, I was still putting some thought into this design and stuff. I'm not sure, but I think somebody's been in here screwing with my things. Don't be screwing with my stuff, bitches. But yeah, trying to get the pattern here, because then I can dead drop this onto the next deck, or you know, move it up, do whatever. I've had to do some revamping on the lower decks to make sure that these things all match up and work well together. It's been kind of it's been kind of taxing, I guess is the right word for it. Sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. Like this is, you know, the standard size for a crew quarter. 10 by whatever, and then this is a really narrow one here, so this will be a single and this will be a bigger one, and you know, so you do what you can do. I haven't figured out what to do with these yet. They could be crew quarters or not. Haven't got that far. I also went ahead and reserved for the medical and science complexes 2 full decks for the medical complex. This is, I think, science complex. Yeah. This is a science complex, so everything within this area all the way to here, maybe even this area, because this area is actually, believe it or not, this is a shared area all the way up through and all the way down the ship, so these can be like ship systems. I also thinking if we don't do it, do this one here, right here, if this is medical, this is systems, this is cargo, and everything else. These could be whatever. Come on down here. Okay, this is the medical deck. If we don't use this as a medical deck, then this deck here, because it has the drop down, so we can literally put stuff right on top of these pumpkins and then carpet it. Go ahead and set this up as a shield generator room. So right now, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and mark this or shields. SIF on structural integrity field and inertial dampening field, IDF. Most likely. So, and they can either go here, or I can put them over here, or shields, structural integrity field, inertial dampening field. Can't, if I can spell, can go here also. So it leaves that section there open for medical, and I'll go ahead and move that sign, because this area is more than enough. I mean, it's big enough for the shield generator that we're going to be putting in here, and if we need to, we have this area here. And I'm thinking this whole area here along all the decks might just get turned into batteries. Use all these rooms here because they're pretty uniform going up and down, so it'd be a good spot for batteries and other ship systems. This deck here is going to pose a bit of a problem because of the crossover. I ran into an issue which I knew I was going to, so I was kind of thinking ahead of myself as where I was, how I was going to do this. This, because of the way that this crosses over and stuff, it cannot properly line up. I mean, it can, but I also have the turbo lift right here. Now I can trust. In fact, you know what? Let's try that and see how that will look. Let's go ahead and close this turbo lift off. That means you get moved out. And come on, give it to me. There we go. Okay, now this turbo lift will be a sealed turbo lift. That means this hallway here, corridor, is open. Okay. Come on. There we go. It means this is a wall, so this and this go bye-bye. There we go. You would step in, and then you would step out like here. So this would be here, and this here would be wall. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll go ahead and keep it that way. That way there I can keep the pattern the way it is. I might replace this then, because this here is just... I did this because I was frustrated about this, and I just didn't dawn on me that I could cross it right here. So that works just fine for us. Actually, that was a nice fix getting it done here on camera. So, cool. This length corridor here, you know, it looks pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and leave it where it's at, because then I have this whole area here to build rooms and or link up these other corridors and stuff. So we'll go ahead and leave it the way it is. Granted, that's the main one, so that one's further back, but that's okay. We can live with this. This whole area will eventually start getting filled in. Another area that I have to watch out for, I think it's a lower section here. It's kind of a bare because it's, yeah, here it is. You can see that lip right there. This section up here, this roof section, is filled in. And I got to come through and I got to fill it all in. And I've been slowly working at it, but I got to be careful because a lot of ship systems are coming down in here. Additional systems. See, we could even, well, this is a big cargo base, so no other ship systems are going to be in here other than like maybe life support or some other stuff. So I'll go ahead and fill in the ceiling, and if we do need it, we can remove it and have an extra block of height for whatever we want. These are, of course, the double stacks for emergency escape shuttles, or escape boats, pods, whatever you want to call them. Oh yes, and I'm highlighting the sections here that allow people to access these pods from different decks. Been going through slowly doing this so that we know that, hey, this is in case, you know, for different decks to access the escape modules or pods, boats, whatever you want to call them, lifeboats. And this color will most likely get changed. I don't think we're going to keep the gray. Oh, you know, we could. I mean, gray and red. I mean, you know, universal for emergencies, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, like I was saying, she's sort of kind of building herself at this point. So I'm kind of happy. A lot of this has come together really well for us. Can't go any higher. There's a lab above us. And this, of course, is a transporter. I'm pretty happy she's starting to build herself, which is what I want. And when you're designing these things, they sort of kind of take on a life of their own once you get past a certain point. And once the stuff up here starts to build itself, then I can start slowly moving down into the secondary hull, which, believe it or not, is going to be a little bit easier to build per se, because it doesn't have all the funky oblong shapes and odd hull bits and bobs. So, you know, setting her up is going to be hopefully pretty easy. I already have an idea in my head. What I need is for someone, Mad, Ipanic, Bomb, somebody, to step up and do this damn deflector. Yeah, that needs to be done. That and the interior of the nacelles. Because I tell you, I am not a deflector, guys. You can go look at the Voyager. I'm not a deflector guy. I get more complaints about that damn deflector's coloring than anything else. So, and yes, I know it was you, Panic, that made that comment, so, funny. Also, the underside here looks like it's going to have to get cleaned up a little bit as far as this trim work goes. Looks a little odd here and there, but then again, that's all, you know, I'll leave all that to Heller, because he's the guy. Still haven't figured out where to place the airlock. I know, I didn't even look at the deck plans today. I've just been working on setting that stuff up. But the airlock's probably going to go right in through here or somewhere. These are windows, believe it or not. Just dropping windows. So the airlock's got to go along in here somewhere. Yeah, this phaser strip, that's pretty interesting. Usually we use glowstone, but M set this up with this one. I like to see these things here where there's one. I like to stay uniform 2 across all the way. So ideally this would be like, you know, like this or on this side. That's something M will have to address, you know, as he goes through. Hopefully he can address that before we start setting it up on the inside. It would be nice, but as far as all these here are concerned, like I said, I looked at several different reference materials, and they all line up pretty well with what we got going here. So I'm going to go ahead and call them good to go. And the windows are in. Thank you, M. What else we got going down here? Again, I guess these are retractable exhaust thrusters or something. M was explaining it to me. I was working on something else, so I didn't really pay that much attention. I do pay attention. It just sometimes things get by me. What can I say? I'm only human. This will be set up for Windows. This will all be like a window pattern, just like it is on the Sovereign build. So in fact, you know, this whole section here could even be kind of removed, and it's going to just be a big room in here. So, big open area with a big roof, pumpkin lighted roof. Who knows? The hangar. Yeah, the hangar. I really want to put pumpkin lighting in here. I desperately want to put pumpkin lighting in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can put pumpkin lighting in there. We have to have a minimum of 5. 6 is ideal. 7's fine. So we can set up pumpkin lighting in here like we have over here. So, did somebody remove my pumpkin lighting? I bet somebody did. I'm sure I had set it with pumpkin lighting originally. Well, somebody's been in here removing my pumpkin lighting. That don't make me happy. That don't make me happy. No, sir. Don't be removing pumpkin lighting. We know remove pumpkin lighting. That's there for a reason. It's overhead lighting. It's the only way to light that damn place. Unless you want it to be black, you know, night time in there. Nothing's wrong with black. I like black. It's just not in hair. Anyways, this is our large cargo bay section here. This is just a catwalk. Hey, I fell. Don't really know yet how we're going to implement this. I'm going to leave this, because this design can actually change. This is a really nice sized cargo bay, so I'll leave it up to M as to what he wants to do with it. Most likely, this will be open at the back here, and it'll be this cargo bay will extend down back through here, and for like our agricultural supplies and things like that for the arboretum. I don't know where M's planning on putting the swimming pool or the bowling alley. We must think about that. What else am I working on here? Yeah, let's go look at this deck here. You can see we're in the process of setting stuff up. Again, I started doing the crossovers, and I haven't moved it up to this deck yet above us, but I do have it set up here. This is the crossover, and I don't even have any of this set up yet, too. So, you know, like I say, there's so much left to do. I mean, as far as the basic design goes, and once that's done, then we can start the build process. But, you know, the pattern is starting to come together. There's some areas I do plan on changing and fixing and tweaking. If the last video, this was the area I was working on pretty heavily, was over through here. So now I get burned out on this area. I need some time away to let it, you know, let my brain work and think a little bit about it. See if there's any other solutions or things like that that come to me while I'm not focused on it. I also got to route these. Basically, I'll just turn these into magenta and then drop them. Something like this. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward how I do it. So I'll go to right here. And then I make sure that when I paste it, I'm not pasting a bunch of air and stuff. And you know, with these I just you know, hand replace them. 2, 3. You. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do this because each one of the transporters, underwater transporters, have to have their own area. It does break up the flow of the build a little bit doing it this way. I really can't get around that. You know, granted, you know, it does bug me, but you know what? You know, we make decisions to do that. You know, it would really be nice if the center section right here was the airlock. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But you know, you got to do what we got to do, and sometimes, you know, it works out well, sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't work out, I'll change it. You know, I'll just revert it back to the way it was, or move it around a little bit more, try to tweak it, make it work. You know, I can easily... Whoa, did I just do something bad? No. Okay, I just screwed it up. Paste. There we go. I can easily, you know, if I had to, I could, I guess, offset this a little bit, you know, or something like that, just enough to get the corridor to go by it. It's not that much of a section, but that is directly on top of it, so I'd have to offset the whole thing this way by a couple of... Well, I could do it, but I don't know how I'm going to want to do that. I don't know. I can offset it if I want to. It's up to me. I don't know. It is sometimes we're into those space issues where, you know, space issues are space issues. Woo! Okay, so why are you up there like that? That doesn't make no sense. That make no sense! Why are you that way? Okay. This will be another Jeffrey's tube. And basically it is... Oh, let's see where that goes. Oh, it goes that way. And then I just haven't set these up to be like this. But they'll all... Well, this one will exit to that corridor there. Or will it? I may not keep this corridor, remember? So I don't know yet. Yeah, that's kind of why I left those there, because I'm still deciding what I want to do with them. And basically all I'm doing now is I can go ahead and highlight this and zip along through here. I can remove all this at one bulk because it's not really going to hurt me because none of those really matter out there. Still haven't decided if I want to route my turbo lift on this level, drop it from there and go in, or keep it where it's at. If I keep it where it's at, I've got to deal with this. You know, I got to come up with a way to separate that, which it really isn't that big of a deal. It's just because they'll just corridor end here, and you'll step through the turbo lift and start on the next corridor. So I don't know. I might keep this the way it is, or I might drop it down to here if I can fit it through between these two pods. Again, I haven't really talked to him about the silo system here, but I don't know what his thoughts would be on it. Probably should talk to him before, you know, locking anything down on that. Again, nothing's locked down. But it's just an idea for a concept, so yeah, you know. And we will replace magenta with air. Yeah, it's done. So much easier than going through and deleting it all by finger, you know, click, 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 click. But anyways, that's the latest update on what's going on with the Sovereign Prebuild. As you can see, the patterns are starting to come together, uniforming, and more I work around the sides and towards the back will be same thing back here. This is the fun part. It's also the hardest part because there's so much you got to think and do and keep spinning around in your head. And you know, granted, this deck is a little bit forward of these. That's fine. Excuse me while I clear my throat. And I'm back. This again is where that force field thing's going to go, and I need the space for it. So this is fine if it goes forward a little bit, because the rest of these are pretty uniform. So, anyways, this is the Mindtrek.net game server. Again, if you would hit that like button for me, I greatly appreciate it, and y'all have a great day. Bye bye.